Well, I'm Mark Ehrlichs, and I want to welcome everyone here. I am a healer by the grace of God. This is all that I do in my life. And what I do is try to, with all my heart, is try to. Thanks, Patty. I appreciate that. It is amazing. And so, what I do is try to help people to feel better in their bodies, whether it be physiological, biological, neurological, or whatever. And if through chronic situations or aches and pains. And most often, most people tell me that something in their life is changed. And that's all that really matters to me. I always tell the story. One time in Chicago, there were just tons and tons and tons of people at the Healing Circle. And then one time, and everyone felt free, to ask questions while I'm working on someone in the center of the circle. And it was a real casual event. I love all the healing circles to be casual in those events. And so I was working on someone, and someone said to me, "Wow, Mark, you must feel really, really good." And when you help people to heal and stuff like that. And I stopped, and everyone looked at me, and it was a surprise question. And I said, I don't give a damn. The only thing that matters to me is if a person's life changes within them and their body, and they feel better with their body. And that's all I care about. It doesn't feel good to me unless I'm showing off and stuff like that. And then, my ego likes to get in the way, my earthly ego, and I'm fine with that for a few moments. But then I realize it's not me. It never has been me. And it's the old man or woman upstairs, as I always say, which is really inside. And it unconditionally loves us. And that's all it wants to do. And it wants to constantly give to us. And, oh, good, more people come in. This is great. So, that's all that really matters. If a person takes, what I've said or what I've done, if they've taken it seriously, and then something is going to change within them, either immediately or incrementally in their lives. And that's how I see things. So, and I pretty much leave it to God. I don't do a darn thing. It's not me. But I'm open for that power, the force and energy of that divinity. And, I'm in love with it, and that's what I adore most in life, is that divinity, that godliness, however it's represented, either through the angelics or through other beings that might be available to us at the moment. And we also have the ability to call upon those other beings and to ask for those presence, ask for that presence to be with us. And it will be as, we find ourselves in that depth of trust. So, that's what I pretty much rely on, or just a divinity or a feminine presence or a masculine presence or whatever. Even the angelics, they, they're not so much male and female that we meet. They're only representing that to us so that we can identify with. And otherwise, it's, it's, I think, gender neutral in that androgynous, and that's what I usually refer to it as, totally androgynous, the angelics. And they only show themselves according to how we can identify and relate to them. So, and we are actually in charge of the angels. They're there for us. So we have access to them, availability to them, and according to, again, our trust. And all trust is and all healing is healing is knowing and accepting. So, and that's what I teach in all the classes, no matter what class it is. So, and my pleasure, Kathy, for this opportunity. And I'm thankful for it too, that someone wants to listen to me in the diatribes as I've been expressing. So, It's all there for us. The world of God is there for us. It wants to share with us. It's unconditional. It's unfathomable how the depth of it is so glorious, and we get to participate in it according to where we're coming from in our life. And that's just my take on things. The world according to Garth Mark, as I always say. And let's see, please, any questions about spirituality or healing? I love questions on healing if anyone has them. And other people are coming on now, which is good. So please, I'd love to answer anything, that I'm capable of answering, and I don't limit it. Is there, and also pertaining to healing, is there anyone here? We only have an hour or so, and even now it's only 45 minutes left. So is there anyone here who has any questions on healing or spirituality I can try to answer? And also, this gathering, it's for healing as well. So if there's anyone here that would like me to work with them, I know there's a delay on my part in seeing what you're typing out, but please do share with me. I'd be more than happy to, answer and or work with you. For one thing, I won't work with the emotional things necessarily right now. I save that pretty much till later, and in personal appointments. And I do have availability of personal appointments I want to mention, and those appointments are either in FaceTime, or they're a telephone call, or they're in Zoom, if anyone's interested. And all the information's on the website, and Linda will be putting it up. If you don't mind, Lynn, please, if you could put up all the information for the website and for the appointments, I'd really appreciate that. And let's see here. Anyone who would like me to work with? Patty, I wanted to ask you how your neck is. We worked with it in the past, and we worked with it in the scanning class today. I showed some pretty unique technique in working with scanning, and a real esoteric understanding of it that anyone can understand. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate that. That's for the personal appointments. Mark's, your husband, Mark. All right. Yeah, sure. Mark's left sciatica hurts. His left sciatica all the way down to the ankle. Very painful. I'd love to. Oh, yes, please. Lynn put up the support gifting. If anyone would like to give from the heart, it's not mandatory. And please, do if it's within your heart. And it helps to support not only us, but it also helps to support other people and helping other people that really need appointments. They cannot afford it, and or that for people that have a need and a calling to take a class. So please do contribute to that if you don't mind and if you can. Let's see here. Going back to Patty, your neck is better. Great. And I will work with Mark as well. I'm so happy about the neck. And was it you with the jaw, Patty? Or was that Sue, Sue, I believe, with the jaw? And Sue's not here right now, but she'll be seeing the replay of this, I know. And several of the other people as well will be seeing the replay. But I'm let's see, doing my meditation, back soon. Okay, no problem, Kathy Hines. Thank you. Okay, good, Patty. And let me work with Mark a little bit, your husband. And I'm not talking about myself that objectively. So, and Sue, right. Okay, let me work with Mark a little bit on his left sciatica that's bothering him so much. And I really pray that this is able to help him. And what I'm doing is I'm going to that divinity within. And that's all that really matters to me. And that's my source. So, And I do understand it's like an inflammation in there. But mostly I understand the opposite of the inflammation, which is, um, you know, where there's less inflammation and less irritation. And a lot of that is internal irritation as well, if that makes sense. And the burning that he's feeling, it might also, um, and that's my input, that it's burning, but it also might be a coolness um, that he's can experience in there as well, in that nerve that's extending down into what we call sciatica going down. And he might even be experiencing a little bit of a flow down there. All right. My perception is that something has changed. We'll see how in depth that goes in his life, and I'm hoping that it'll uh, incrementally get better on him. If not, for right now, have uh, a reprieve in that. So, and if you can find out without intruding in any way, if he noticed something different happen, if he's not available right there, and I'd appreciate that. Or if not now, later, whenever's good for you. Uh, my pleasure, Patty. My total pleasure. Um, Please, is there anyone else I can work with? I would love to. Uh, Susie, please, if there's anything, um, let me see here, or Christina, Susie Patterson or Christina, if there's anything I can work with, I would love to. Uh, it's getting cool here, and at night, I remember one day a couple weeks ago, it went from 102, and the next day it went to 23 at night, and, and so now it's starting to get cool. So when it um, very impromptu out of nowhere, it's going to go down, even though it's in 70s and 80s during the day. It's going to go way down. Uh, Hopefully, it'll be out of nowhere, even though the nights are supposed to be in the high 30s and 40s. So, any case, you rock. Hey, Parachi, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And please, how are your daughters um, doing? The ones that I had worked with. Was there any change at all in their physiology or injuries or whatever? Please let me know, Parachi. I appreciate that. And Patty, if you can let me know if it's not intrusive on Mark, how uh, if he noticed any change, if he is aware of change that might have happened. And Shauna, hey, don't be shy about this. Don't be shy. Good to see you here. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for being here. I haven't attended any of your gatherings before. That's fine. But I've had heart palpitations that seem to be related to food allergies and intolerance. And I'm sure you know what they are too. And so, first advice, your body knows what to stay away from. Everyone's body is unique and different. And so we're all going to have different aversions in various foods. So And I know nothing about health foods, and I know nothing about medicines or anything else. It's just what my perceptions are. But what I can do, let me see, read the rest of this here. See more. All right, the food allergy and intolerance. Maybe there's more going on. I just had some imaging done that didn't show. No, there's no structural problems in my perception. First, I want to ask, can it be that a healing intervention would work for someone that is still to learn the message that their ailment is trying to tell them? Um, the ailment is, as I mentioned, everyone has a different physiology and biology. Everyone's unique, and everyone's body is going to be accepting of various food types, etc. So, stay away from those food types, whatever they are. And I think part of them are milk product and cheese, which is milk product. And so that was my perception, without even knowing you. And 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 greasy stuff, not good for you. Not good for you. So, and I'm ignorant on foods. My diet is almond M&Ms and coffee. So I can live on that for 5,000 years. So, and that's just the way it is. But I'd like to work with you. If Shauna, if you don't mind, please, can you just sit back and just relax for a moment and just close your eyes while I work with you, just for a moment or two, and tell me if you sense something happening in your body. And I'm going to, not to induce you to think a certain way or whatever, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with your heart first. And my perception is there's nothing structurally or wrong with you, as the doctor said. So just sit back and just enjoy. You might sense something happening, and just enjoy it. And it might be subtle or might be dramatic. From my perception, it was almost as though um, uh, there was a relief that happened, and it went from the heart, and in a sense, it spread. And please be candid with me. Did you also sense that? Um, you know, and it's okay if you didn't. Most people will sense things, some don't. It doesn't matter. Either way, if you experience it or not, it still happened. So please do share with me, Shauna. And I'm very thankful that you're here. Please do share with me. Can it be that healing intervention would work for me, or someone that is still to learn the message um, that their animal is trying to tell you? Don't even worry about that. Sometimes the body, it's not because we're not getting something spiritually. We all have unique bodies, and they require different things, and bodies change over time. They mature, and we begin to, uh, very frankly, the body begins to deteriorate with our first breath at birth, with the oxygenation. Uh, that's just the way it is, and so, and everyone's body is going to react differently to their environment, to the way they're brought up, to the surroundings, to you name it, geographical location, the things that we learn and develop in life. Everyone's body is unique. So, you know, uh, medical science in that respect is not going to be able to pinpoint something unless they do a complete history on someone from the beginnings of their birth on. And, but that's not going to fix anything necessarily. It will help to alleviate some things, but that's it. But we eventually go through these things in life. And we go through the memories, which are bruises to us. Those change us as well. So everything is a factor in living and what happens with us in our living patterns, etc. So let me see here. The kids are doing good. Thanks. Oh, I appreciate that. No complaints so far. Whenever I ask, good. And I pray that everything was taken care of with your children. All right, good. And my pleasure for having you, Shauna. And Christine, once a causal moment has been changed by the healing, isn't it true that we don't need to continue believing our pains exist? Oh, that is so true. That is so true. And even in today's class, I was teaching that. And in a lot of other classes, I've taught that as well. But today's class is a little more in depth. But once the causal moment has changed, say if we're going through something in life and we stop ourselves, we have the ability to literally stop ourselves and say, wait a second, when did I start feeling this happening with me? And you might have a memory if you go back and really wonder about it. And as you wonder about it, you can actually, and you come up with the time, say, okay, I see that. And I wonder, when did I have it prior to that? And we can keep going, back several times to, say, maybe the age of 5 or 7 or 14 or whatever. And we'll see where it all started of what we have today, 20 years later, 40 years later, or however long it is. But once we recognize it, we're recognizing it in an objective, observant way, and we're facing it. And we can actually say to it, once we've done that, we can say to it, how do you serve me? And you can ask that consciousness of that memory, how do you serve me? And that consciousness of the memory is almost like a globule, and it's always in movement, and I always condense it. And I always say, okay, I see you, how do you serve me? And it will answer you and say, you're ridiculous, you can go away now. And it won't bother you anymore because it's out of the bag, if that makes sense. And quite often we can do that with many things that bother us in our lives. If we can find first the causal event of when it happened, the consciousness breaks. It's no longer valid anymore. It's no longer able to hide anymore and to be instilled within us. First we go, like the old analogy I tell everyone. Someone comes up to you when you're really young, you get a knuckle sandwich. And so from then, once we get the knuckle sandwich, then that's the shock trauma. That causes the memory of something. And whatever it is, whether we're witnessing something, that can be the knuckle sandwich, or we hear something, or we see something, or someone does something to us, that's the knuckle sandwich that causes the shock trauma. But what happens is we have the ability to go through the healing crisis where it integrates into our experience, where it no longer will have an effect on us after, say with the knuckle sandwich, you get a deep blue, bruise, and then it goes through its healing crisis by turning green, then orange, then yellow, and then it disappears. Well, it's the same thing with words and situations and experiences and thinkings of the mind that are also the knuckle sandwich that is impacted within us. That's the memory, the causal moment of things. Many things, not everything, many things. And so we have the ability to work that out. But if we don't work that out, it lingers there. So the ability to work it out is really to observe it. And in our observation, if we're objective enough, we are clear in seeing it. And as long as we're not reacting with it and feeling the, anxieties, worries, or fears with that, and or going back to being subject to it, then it's another opportunity. We always have a billion opportunities to go back and objectively observe. Then it's no longer going to be, detrimental to you in your life, and the memory is broken. That's when we're objectively, observantly seeing it and confronting it without any reactions whatsoever. That's what breaks that consciousness. And sometimes people like myself, well, we can go in there and find that consciousness and break it to help you, especially if a person is lost, in being able to do that. And oftentimes I do that with people. I'm not always able to, but because some people really want to hang on to these things, it's their security and it's their control. Not saying anyone here is of that nature, but for some people that I've worked with in life, in what I do. And that's why I think also that the appointments are good, because oftentimes I'm able to do that. Not all the time, but oftentimes. And dairy does, yes, Shauna, dairy does make your joints hurt. And that's what's one of the main things that's disturbing to your system is the milk product, the dairy, as suggested. And so, it's also reading the labels on foods that you purchase. They have milk compounds in a lot of stuff, and that's not good stuff. It's like whey, and that's one thing. That's what it is. It's the whey, WHEY, I believe they spell it. That's what's really disturbing your joint material, and they add that even to cheese. Or it's a part of cheese. I'm not sure what. I don't know anything about foods. Again, my almond M&Ms, and sometimes it used to be Snickers, but now I've graduated. I'm evolving. And all right, that sounds like my diet. A few months ago, my younger one heard you and crackled in laughter. Yes. Yeah, I hope it was a funny laughter. So, oh boy, thanks, Prachi. Is that the one that calls me uncle now? I'm a new member of the family, so send me food. No. Oh God, Shauna, no. I do have some tension in the middle still. I do think I felt something different. Good. I'm going to work with you a little bit more, Shauna, if you don't mind. And enjoy the slow heartbeat, please. So I'm going to work with you a little bit more in the heart, because there's an anxiousness that you carry, and it's a concern. And so, yes, Uncle Mark. I love it. I love it. She's awesome. All right, Shauna, I'm going to work a little bit more with the heart, because that's a part of what's happening in other organs of your body too. It's the whole body just sinks together, and everything affects everything. So I'm going to work with the heart a little bit more, hon. See, your body, it knows. Uh, it's almost like on the verge. It just can't break through yet. It's like a membrane there of understanding, uh, uh, for the heart's understanding. So I'm going to see if we can break through that last vestige of helping you find that peace in your heart and in your body. Let's see if we can help. Can you feel the warmth, Shauna? Can you feel the warmth within you? Uh, it's almost like a spread. And be candid with me too, please, please. And also right here in the apex where the ribs come together, there's a tenderness in there. I felt that. So, and I don't know if you can see that right up in here where the ribs come together. If you push in, it's a little bit tender in my impression. And you may know otherwise, but that's my impression. So please do, Shauna, let me know that, and we'll take it from there. Your heart did slow down in the beat. And Christina, yes, it does. I do that with emotional. Um, what is this teaching me, and is taking me deeper? Yes, it is taking you deeper, Christina, and it's longing to express to you. It wants to so badly express to you. And Shauna, yes, it is tender there. Yes, I know. And so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to. You may think this is crazy, Shauna. So please, hon, I'm going to push in with a little bit of pressure in that area, and tell me what happens. This is kind of cool. There. Tell me what happened, Shauna, please. Yes, you felt the warmth. Yes, yes, yes. Now, if you were to push in again, without hurting yourself, but with little pressure, is it as tender as it was? Please be candid with me. Please, Shauna. Please be candid. And if you, and I'll wait for your answer on that. And uh, let me see here. I felt the warmth, yes. And uh, let's see if Shauna writes back. Uh, what happens, there's and I'll wait for you to answer me, then I'll share more with you about that and what to do when it does bother you. And it's an awesome experience that you do, uh, you know, feel that, even if it's tender, because that's an indicator of the various things. So we're going to help that. I don't think it's as tender as before. Awesome, awesome. All right, now this is what you can do for that. Whenever you should be alone and want to just press in with it, uh, you can take your finger and go this way. With your right hand, go underneath the rib, and you'll feel with your the tip of your finger a little knob in there, a little tiny knob inside underneath the rib. And what you do is you imagine your spiritual finger extending out and wrapping around that little knob and bring it down, straight down. So you're going underneath your rib and then having your spiritual finger wrap around it, not your finger, but your spiritual finger, wrap around it and bring it straight down. And you'll get a funny sensation all throughout your lower abdominal cavity. Then it'll take care of it for a while. And if you do that often, it will help you to feel better and better and better. Because what we've done is help to break that consciousness. Now it's going to be on your part to work with that from then on, if it should happen. And the more you do that, say once or twice a day, or 4 or 5 times a week or whatever, you'll see that it helps you to happen, for that digestive stuff problems to happen less and less and further in between. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And please tell me, how do you feel in your body right now, Shauna? And awesome, thank you. I will do that. Good. And please let me know how you feel in your body. And it's great to, don't be shy to be here, please. Uh, we all have stuff. Tell me someone in the world who doesn't, and I'll follow them anywhere. Susie, Tim has had a digestive issue and thinks he's developed an ulcer. Um, uh, a lot of, yeah, in my perspective, also, he feels a great responsibility in life, whether it be conscious or unconscious, for Tim. And so, um, oh, good, less tension. Good, Sean. I'm glad. This will help develop that. So with Susie, Tim has had a digestive issue and thinks he's developed an ulcer. If you can see and help, I would do everything I can, Susie. And so um, I'm going to see if I can bring like a relief on Tim. First, I'm going to imagine putting my hands on his head and asking a blessing. And as peaceful as Tim is, there's still uh, deep inside of him, it might just the world according to Gartmark, deep inside him knows that responsibility feeling. That's it's almost like a real subtle nagging or irritation, and that's what might be causing. Besides some foods which are associated with digestive as well, and so let's see. And I think with a lot of people, a lot of situations um, are um, uh, it can't be worked with if we learned how to contemplate more purposefully in life, in our lives. And so, please, Tim, can you tell me if you notice any change uh, uh, that might be real subtle uh, of anything that might have happened yet since a moment or two ago? Please, Tim, if you can answer that, or Susie answer that for Tim. I appreciate that. And I want to do one more thing with them as well while you're answering that. There. And I'm hoping that something just then might have happened to create a change, um, uh, or an ease, I should say. That's what the change I'm trying to express, the ease in his body. And so we'll take it from there. Take it from there and see what happens. Um, so, and I hope I get a chance to see you guys sometime in the future. In any case, or get to Virginia where you guys are. That would be wonderful. We can start traveling again. And um, you guys are awesome. I just wanted to say, I always thought that of you since I met you that one time. I believe it was in North Carolina or Virginia. I don't remember. I think Virginia. So, and Tim, also it's important that you do some I don't know, dietary restriction, and also milk product is going to affect you as well. So, just to let you know, um, as you already probably know. My pleasure, Susie. My pleasure. And But don't be discouraged if you didn't immediately feel something. And I always tell that to people because even at the healing circles or appointments, when people would show up, uh, many have said that, oh, I don't feel anything yet, or it doesn't matter whether you feel or not, something still happened. But the neat thing is, uh, sometimes as soon as people walked out the door, uh, something hit them that there was a change, or walking down the street 2 weeks or 2 months later saying, "Oh my God, when did this leave me?" And I pray that this is the case with many of y'all and with Tim. And so, Parache, I would love to Roanoke. That's what it was. Okay, I remember that. Yes, I love that place. God, it's so beautiful and lush and green. Ah, and that's what I remember about it, and the people too, of course. Loving people. Uh, so let me see here, Patty. What I'd like to work with is your neck a little bit more. See if we can help break that pattern a little bit more in the neck, if you don't mind. For Patty first, and then I want to work with Christina. Also, Patty, I wanted to ask you, have you heard from John how he's doing? Please do share with me. Please do share if you have the opportunity. All right, Christina. Now, um, uh, I want to work with your neck as well, and your jaw. Many a time I identify with people that I'm working with um, by working on myself and knowing that it's them. And I have to take myself out of the picture and see myself objectively and observantly without seeing that it's me, but working with other people's as well. That's what I'm doing there. I felt it was almost like an expansion where it breathed. There was like a breath inside. So let's see if that helps as well. And yes, grinding the teeth, and it's uh, the jaw of that. And you also have a propensity to worry about or be concerned about things. Um, and thank God Steve is there. So Steve's awesome. uh, yeah. Now tell me if you put your hands right in this area in here, right at the in between the jaw on the muscle, if it's as tender as it was. Uh, and please let me know. Let me know. All right. Um, so, and I picked up on that with your neck because that's a part of the worry and concern for things, and whether it be people, situations, whatever. And Shauna, how are you doing now? How do you feel in your body? Please let me know. Please. And also, Parache. Um, yes, he is. Yes, I love that. He's like The Rock and the Fonz. I love it. Parachi, I'm going to work with your daughter, your young daughter there, a little bit. Did she start laughing again? So, uh, all right. And anything with you, Prachi, please, please. Anything that I can work with, please feel free to share. So what I do is, in many situations, if a person is in front of me, I work with the consciousness of it. And most people tell me that something in their life has changed. And that's all that's really important. And that's what I enjoy. Jaw is not as tender. Good, good, good. Yes, he is definitely awesome, Christina. He's my bro. I'm his. And so, all right. Um, so, Parache, please, anything with you that you would like me to work with? Oh, good. Tim says he's feeling calmer. You know, one of the things I did is I asked a blessing on him, and that's what's um, really, important. And the blessing was for that peace. Um, so, um, you know, that's what I did, and I asked God for that, and to get rid of, anything that might be causing that internal tension within him, which is also participating in the digestive stuff, assimilation of stuff in life. So, your daughter's, my neck is more mobile now. Good, 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 Patty. Thank God. Thank God. And it might be all these things that I'm doing now are just what, ever since the old days, people called it quickie healings. And so they might last either temporarily or forever. I don't know. And many people, I don't want to say most, but many people tell me that, it is forever. They don't have these problems anymore, or the situations that were giving a disturbance in their body. Still feels less tension than before. Good. All right. It's almost like a new beginning, Shauna. Literally, it's like a new day, like opening up a window and having light come in the morning. That's what it's like inside. Still less tension than before. There's less of an energy blockage. No such thing as blockages. Don't believe in blockages. There's log jams. There's still life force flowing through. If we had a blockage in our shoulder, all the life force would be void down here, and our arm would shrivel up and fall off. If there was a blockage in the heart, we'd be dead, and we'd be on the other side. There's log jams. There's still life force flowing through, and so there is less of a log jam there. Yes, and right above your heart. True. Yes. That I sense that energy when I do a body scan meditation. And good. And now you'll actually begin to feel it more open, and it'll keep, as you do realize, actually having it become real in action. Realization, that's what realization, having it become real in action. As you remember that to do that and do that and do that, you'll see that it's clearer and clearer and clearer, and your body will feel like elated, and your mind will interpret it as elated. And that's what happens. So good for you, Shauna. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Parachi, so I went for a walk today and also did some running. And so I am sore and fatigued, and that's usual, nothing in particular, just tired mentally and physically. Let me ask a blessing on you, if you don't mind. And always keeping in mind that if you do a mild and gentle running without exertion, or too much exertion, I should say, just know that it's like vitamin D coming into your body and building the bones and the tissue and the nerves and everything, and it's just elating. Try to relate to it that way. And it's a good thing, though. And when you exert your muscles, of course, they're going to get tired, but don't overdo it. please. He says, thank you. Oh, my pleasure, Susie. My pleasure. I like that log jam. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a log jam. Otherwise, a lot of people are taught that because someone believed it was a blockage one time, and years and years and years ago, and so they started writing about it and started telling people about it. More people started writing about it and telling people about it because that's how they equated uh, all that stuff, what the log jam was. It's just someone's belief, and it's really it's not a blockage. It's a log jam. It's just like a beaver building a dam, and some water is still coming through. It's not completely cut off, and it's just the life force is still coming through, and that's why we can still function and breathe and eat and sleep and do all kinds of things and laugh and play with people because we only have a log jam. It's not a blockage. And all right, everyone. What I'd like to do is the final, real super quick meditation or contemplation, or whatever you choose. And if you can just do it my way for a moment without adding anything to it. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes and just take a deep breath, slow motion, all the way down to the lowest part of your belly, and slow motion out through your mouth. Just for a moment, breathe that way. In through your nose, out through your mouth, slow motion. And imagine as you're breathing in the breath of God, and it's giving you life. Imagine what that might be like if you were breathing in the breath of God. It's even written in the old book that God breathed through the nostrils of man and woman and gave them life. And if that's true, we're breathing in the breath of God. Try to imagine that. Image it in action. Slow motion breathing. God breathing in through your nostrils and giving you life. Bring it all the way into the lowest part of your body, part of your belly. Watch it. Don't inhibit it or think about it or change it. And let that breath of God come out of your mouth. All right. I am so thankful that you guys are here. And please, if anyone's interested in appointments, contact me. All the information is available, and even go to the website. And we have all the classes announced. We have Healing Circle coming up on Tuesday the 6th at 12 o'clock my time. And excuse me, no, I'm incorrect. It's at 6:30 at night my time, Mountain Time, and at 12 o'clock is Powerful Empath Development, and for the first time I'm going to be talking about empath, which I've always not poo-pooed, but just some people's understandings of what empath was. I'm going to talk about it in a little mini class that's free and open to the public. And that's going to be on the 6th as well. Besides the Healing Circle at 6:30, this is going to be at 12 o'clock, noon my time. So please, and yeah, Google Analytics loves #YouRock. So if you can put that in there, I really appreciate it. And if you see the replay on YouTube, after it's inserted on that, and you can even get to it through the website when Lynn is able to put it up. Put #replay if you see it on the replay. Thank you, everyone. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And if there's anything, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. Thanks for being here.